Justice League.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can dig it.
Hey, welcome to the Review, a show where two small-town dudes give you our big dumb opinions, and today we are going over our rehashed opinions
Flashback.
for a flashback ep of Justice League.
Yes.
Hot off our review of Aquaman.
Yeah.
We are going back to see what him and the gang were up to in Justice League.
Our first introduction to Aquaman.
Mm-hmm.
We're going all the way back there to see, did he get his just desserts in his first encounter?
Did he get his comeuppance? Huh?
Yeah.
Heard there was a lot cut out of Justice League of some Atlantis stuff.
Good.
But I think we are joined in this review by Ghost Hunter Dave, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, yeah. So, a little bit of a good addition because he may or may not be involved in our next show for Thursday, where we finally do our best of 2018.
Mm-hmm. Get your list together.
Get
Send
it
some
together.
in.
So, yeah, send us your lists.
Send like a top 5 for what we got. We'll read them off on the air.
We'll read some top 5s. I'm really curious to see what did people dig from this past year.
Yeah, there was a lot of hot stuff that came out.
A lot of hot stuff.
But a lot of not stuff that came out.
A lot of hot, a lot of not.
Yeah, so let us know what you thought. But until then, enjoy this flashback episode of Justice League. Hope you enjoy.
Starting right now.
November 17th, 2017, Justice League debuted. Just mere days ago. With a budget of a rumored $300 million.
That's not much.
Domestically, as of the 21st.
And that's including the reshoots, right?
It
They've
includes the
essentially
reshoots.
filmed it twice.
Yes, that's right.
It includes the second movie they made. That's pretty much the exact same thing.
Well, they were initially planning on making it 2 parts, so maybe they just counted that into the budget.
Hey, who
they
knows?
They filmed the same one twice.
As of the 21st, domestically, it's made $111.9 million. Worldwide, it's made $296.9, so it's almost broken even with its budget.
Mm-hmm.
Rotten Tomatoes has it at a 37%. IMDb has it at a 7.4 out of 10. And Common Sense Media, the rating system for the family, has it at 3.5 stars, 11 plus.
All right. So leave those 10 minus kids at home.
That's right. That's right. So JT, what happened in Justice League?
Well, Batman's old and he killed Superman, so now he feels like he needs to round up other people that can do the job that he feels he can't do anymore, because he feels there is something coming in the form of a weird alien Viking with an axe that wants 3 boxes for God knows what.
Terraforming.
Okay. That's
the
about
end.
it.
All right.
That's what I could gather from it.
All
That's
right.
all I could
Nailed it.
gather from
Very
it.
good. Very good. Dave, you have a variety of notes there.
I do.
Let's right at the top. We'll do spoiler free in case somebody has not seen it yet, and then we'll go into spoilers. We can do a short spoiler what we thought, spoiler free thing. Dave, what do you think?
What did I think of it?
Yeah.
God, it's a $1 million question, isn't it, Troy?
As you.
Okay.
Wait, before you say something important, give me another beer tray.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you want me to flip these cameras over so we're not tempted to gaze into our own wonderful
But I like
eyes?
gazing in my own eyes.
Okay. Just throwing it out there.
That and I don't pay attention.
Got it.
Oh yeah, that goes to Joel. Sorry.
The fuck? What am I, your fucking servant? All right. So, we finally got it.
That's right.
It's out of the way.
That's right.
We can move on.
Right.
The cast, all good.
Yep.
Everyone shines. They have their moments.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like everyone got their moment more than most, like, ensemble team movies.
Yeah, I didn't feel like really anybody got shortchanged in this.
I could have, like, I felt like I could have used a lot more of them, but no one was, like, exactly what you said. No one was, like, left out.
Right.
Most of the dialogue is pretty solid.
Yeah.
It's got, like, a couple kind of somewhat irritating Joss Whedon-y quips, but not as bad as, I would say, like, some of the Marvel ones. They're not quite that lighthearted.
Mm-hmm.
And it has a ton of just, like, very generic superhero babble. Like, we've got to get the mother boxes to terraform the colonies and like that type of thing.
Uh-huh.
Which was, like, to be expected, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was fine. Like,
yeah.
it was neither good nor bad. It was completely adequate. It was what it needed to be, like the lowest percentage of what it needed to be classified as a win. But I would have loved it to be more than that. I have anything a little bit more like notable.
Yeah. JT?
I thought that it was a little bit of a mess of a movie, but there were some fun moments in it that pulled me back into it. Like, the minute I was, like, starting to check out completely was when they would throw in something where I'm like, that was fun. And then they would go back into their same shtick of, all right, I'll wait for the next fun thing.
Yeah, I agree with, I think I agree with Dave that, I don't know, I think it's a movie that they needed in order to, like, maybe pick up steam, but at the same time, it was jarring enough with the rest of everything what they made that it just falls a little flat.
Yeah, like,
I'm not sure.
It's even hard to talk about without getting into, like, really specific.
I will say that it doesn't, like, you can almost tell what was reshot with Joss Whedon and what was made with Zack Snyder, like, to the point where it is jarring.
I didn't find it jarring, though, because I found for having it two directors, other than, like, a few points, I thought it was pretty seamless.
Even some of the comedy is very jarring. Like, there's some stuff in the beginning that's very borderline childlike, and then as it progresses, it gets more into, like, it feels like completely two different senses of humor at some points.
I thought it, like, it started off decent, and as it went on, it was good, and it was picking up steam.
Yeah.
But after, I want to say, after, like, I mean, we're spoiling it, so the Superman resurrection.
Yeah, everyone knows
really
Superman.
Oh, yes, everyone knows Superman's in it.
After that moment, I felt like it just kind of went downhill. It wasn't ever bad, but I don't think it ever got better. Yeah. And it was to the point where, like, it just got a little goofier, and, like, the characters were just a little quippier, and I don't know, once Superman got in, it just felt like a lighter movie. Like, the stakes weren't as high anymore.
Which is weird, because that's where it should be highest.
Yeah. I feel like this movie, I don't know why they can't just have, like, epic, inspiring, serious superheroes without having to make, like, a joke on every moment.
Yeah,
like, can't we just have, like, really great, like, adult or just earnest superheroes without having to constantly, like, knock them down a peg? Like, every moment where they have a chance to, like, call something stupid or, like, be like, oh, well, that didn't work, or, you know, just, like, make them more human. They throw it in there, and it's like, these guys should be, like, inspiring. They should be what humanity wants to be.
Yeah, they should be more stoic, right?
Yeah, they keep kind of marvelizing it, where everything's like a joke.
Yeah, and I didn't think this movie was like a huge overcorrection, but I did feel like it could have fallen in that at any point in time. You know what I mean? Right. Well, before we get into spoilers, would you recommend seeing this in the theater, or would you wait?
You're asking me?
Yes, and also Joel, but I ended up looking at you.
All right. I saw it with my 5-year-old, and he had a good time. So I would say it's a movie that you can bring the kids to.
Yeah, 11 plus.
Absolutely.
But you went against the grain on that. So.
Yeah, well, he's
5. He reads at an 11 plus age
absolutely.
level.
We're knocking through Goosebumps left and right in our household. So, like, if you just want, like, kind of a dumb superhero epic, it's fine.
Yeah.
Like, bring your kids to it, make it like a family movie type of thing.
Yeah.
If you're expecting like this Captain America Civil War type of thing, I don't know. You're not going to get that.
Right.
I mean, if you're a DC fan that is really wanting to see the Justice League and you're fine with any iteration you get, go see it.
Yeah.
If you're very overly critical and you're not like a big comic book guy, you're not going to find a whole lot to like out of it.
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. Like, obviously, if you're a comic guy, you've been waiting for this movie for your whole life. So, you're, out of morbid curiosity, you're going to go see it.
Yeah.
And even if you're, like, a slight comic fan, I would say go see it. But if you're just a moviegoer, I don't think you're going to get much out of it.
I can't see anyone loving it. Maybe that's the problem. Like, there isn't anything in it that I can see anyone being like, yeah, like Justice League. This is what I've been waiting for. It's just like, it's fine.
Yeah.
You know, even if you really liked it, like, how can you say like this is your favorite superhero movie?
Yeah. There are brief moments in it where I was like, that's really good.
Yeah.
That's really, but those are
seeing them all together is like, cool. We're getting the Justice League. This is it. This is monumental.
I will say, on a personal opinion, this is the best portrayal of Superman by Henry Cavill I've seen so far.
Yeah. I also agree.
Yeah. And, yeah, but other than that, like, how I described it to Molly, where she said that's pretty much on point, was, it's like, Justice League stole Avengers' homework and only had 15 minutes to copy it.
That's good.
I like that. It's really good.
Where it's
That's
like,
about as good as your BVS Ultimate Edition. Where what was your analogy there?
Oh, it's like the BVS is like someone is stabbing you repeatedly for 2 hours and not telling you why. And then BVS Ultimate Edition is someone stabbing you for 3 hours, but they're telling you why.
Yeah.
It's a matter of which one of those would you prefer.
So let's go into full spoilers, and I'm gonna guarantee you there's gonna be so many nitpicks that it's gonna feel like we're gonna hate this movie. But I didn't feel like I hated this movie just right off the top.
Yeah.
But let's get into it. So I heard that it needs to make $600 million to break even.
Wow.
Yeah. Which is not good. With that alleged $300 million price tag on this thing, and all the production, like, they've needed to go into
like, how do you get to that point? Like,
Are they trying to recoup Batman versus Superman's costs?
You don't get to that point without someone showing up at someone's office being like, I did a bad thing.
If you push this button, you will get $1 million, but someone somewhere will die.
Let's make a movie about that.
God.
How many times can I push the button?
Out of like all of the movies that should make $1 billion, I figured like Batman v Superman and Justice League should be easy contenders to make it.
Yeah, it's kind of disappointing. It's like, do people not care?
I think they do care. I just think they got burned on something that like they weren't quite expecting, and they just weren't into it. And like with this Justice League, it just was so milquetoast that it's just like forgettable. Like, even going in today, I wish I would have taken notes in the theater. Yeah. Because like I was like, I think I forgot about half of this movie.
Yeah.
It doesn't do anything super groundbreaking. Mm-mm. And they're just trying to like get everything on a like just enough copacetic with everything that it's like, from here on we can do something great, but this is just probably gonna suck.
Gotta get this out of the way.
Yeah.
I do like that they didn't take the Marvel route and give everyone their own movie, because that would be torture, and they would never get to Justice League.
No.
But I'm glad they brought them all together and just got this out of the way, and then they said like, all right, whatever sticks, that's what we're going with.
Right. But I don't believe like the Marvel method is the only way to go, where you need all these franchises to go into Avengers. I think you can start with Justice League because they're the most famous superheroes in the world, minus like Cyborg.
Yeah.
But like everyone knows Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. You can start with Justice League, and then from there you can tailor franchise movies with what people liked in that to their own like single individual things. I think that can work.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that the thing that Justice League went wrong with was that they acted like there were other movies before this, because there were so many instances where they introduced people and they would try to explain what happened to him, but I could not.
But like
connect.
on the point with like Cyborg, like they kind of changed it a little bit from what the email you saw in BVS.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I thought there was going to be like a weird MacGuffin where like he was a part Mother Box in Justice League. Because it looks like the Mother Box made him in that little clip in Batman v Superman. And that was never addressed in this.
No, so I mean, we can get into this in a little bit.
Well, it is addressed.
Of the Mother Box?
I don't know.
It is addressed because Steppenwolf. There's one point where he says, "Oh, she made you." Like when he walks up to him.
It looks like the Mother Box like dissolved into him. You know what I mean? Like it shouldn't exist anymore. So I don't know. I thought that was going to play more like they needed Cyborg to complete like the 3 MacGuffins.
That's pretty much what it is. It's just a story of like these 3 things do bad things. Let's get them before he does the things that will be bad.
Because I'm fine.
Because I could not follow at all what the fuck he was trying to do with those 3 boxes, or why he was calling them Mother, or why it was like why he had some weird random zombie army that had wings that fed off fear. And then that's what made them turn on him, even though he made them.
Even though everyone else has to be scared around him, so it doesn't make
Flash should have been terrified through that entire thing.
He should have
just have him do circles around the area, get all the parademons to chase him, and then go beat up Steppenwolf. Troy, as you were mentioning that this movie is very bland, can I have 4.5 minutes to soapbox for a moment?
Yes, you can.
I'm gonna have to refer to my notes here because
That's very okay.
Do it. I have this written out.
Good thing this is just an audio meet. Oh.
All right. No. So my issue was the exact same one you had here. That it doesn't seem to be about anything.
Yeah.
And feel free to chime in here. Don't just let me talk the whole time here.
Fair enough.
But if we're going through the Zack Snyder verse, Man of Steel was about struggling to do good in a world that you've been brought up to believe can't accept you. Is whatever you think about the movie, that's what it was about.
Yep.
And about dealing with owing allegiance to your race or to the adopted people that raised you and shaped your belief. That's the standard Superman story there.
Yep.
So it's about something more than just like fighting.
Yep.
Batman vs. Superman, which has not gotten a ton of critical praise,
right.
But I think I personally enjoy it.
Yep.
And that's about a world struggling with the reality that a god is living among them. And when he's only viewed from a distance, like an outsider, how much can the general populace trust him? And the media and the perception of his actions are easily skewed, which makes him question whether or not he should be intervening in people's lives at all.
Yep.
That's 1/3 of Batman versus Superman. Plus, you have Lex Luthor, who grew up with an abusive father figure, which has warped his perception on God in general. And he kind of takes up the philosophical dilemma of the power of evil, that God can't be all-powerful and wholly good because he allows bad things to happen. So his father, his view of God was an asshole. Thus, in his eyes, God is flawed. So he's irritated to see humanity embracing Superman as a god. So his goal is to show the flaw in Superman's character, that even this holy figure can do bad. And that's why he plans to make him kill Batman.
Yep.
So it's more of just proving that he can make God bend to his will, in turn making man more powerful than God, which is perfectly in character with like the classic Lex Luthor.
Yep.
And then you have another man, a Batman,
oh my,
who has been trying his best to police Gotham for 20 years at the cost of at least one Robin that we know about.
Yep.
He's exhausted from the whole thing. He's already questioning whether or not he makes a difference. Then this god comes into the picture and throws the entire worldview of Batman for a loop. Alfred sums up Batman's feelings of helplessness and inadequacy while completely explaining his character's deconstruction in the movie. He says, men fall from the sky, gods hurl thunderbolts, innocents die. That's how it starts, sir. The fever, the rage, the feeling of powerlessness that turns good men cruel. Cruel. So Batman's... Just flipping the paper here. Batman's only reaction is to lash out, get crueler in hopes of making a difference. So he bat brands people. He has a zero tolerance to criminals. Normally out of character for Batman, unless you watch any of the other Batman movies.
No, that's why that's why I thought Batman was one of the more interesting characters in it, because he actually felt like someone who's been beaten down by the system for so long that he feels the only way he can make a difference is just full out fuck them over.
Yeah, it's like a future take on it.
Yeah,
He's been
and
pushed to his
that's
limit.
why I like that. Whereas like the Superman one, it didn't feel like, it felt like there was some criticism about it, but it wasn't like complete criticism. Like there were people standing up for him, but like the fact that he was only latching onto the criticism made him seem like kind of a wuss.
Yeah, yep.
And that's the only thing I didn't like about Superman in it.
So like that was Batman versus Superman. And people argue that like you have to build the universe before you can deconstruct it, and like Batman should be classic Batman. But like everyone knows classic Batman.
Yeah.
And this is Batman that's been operating for 20 years. Like you don't need to build 2 or 3 movies to get to the point that you actually want to tell.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with that. Like it's out of character for Batman, but we're seeing a Batman that has been like pushed to his breaking point. So that's what Batman versus Superman is about. That's a movie that is saying something.
Yep.
And then Justice League, it's just a fight.
It really is.
It's just a superhero movie.
Yeah.
But I do like what they do with Batman in Justice League, though, because they change him from someone who feels like he needs to be this more cruel version of himself to maintain justice, to now he feels completely inferior to everyone around him, because now he sees all these people with all these powers, and he's trying to find his place in all of it.
But I never felt like that was actually what he felt. I felt like that was a course correction by Warner Brothers.
I don't know, that's what I kind of got throughout all of it, because he keeps repeatedly, like, it feels like throughout the whole movie he has a death wish. Like, he feels like he doesn't belong in this world at all. Like, he keeps talking about how, like, he fucked up by killing Superman, and, like, how he needs to find these other people to fight the battle for him. Like, he goes in and he does what he can, but then in the end he feels completely inferior to all these people around him.
Apparently in this original Snyder cut, that was like a reoccurring theme, that Batman is like almost suicidal in it.
Oh, really?
And at the end, like, he drops them off and then apparently embarks on like a suicide mission, and the League saves him there. So when the parademons are wrecking his car, I think they kind of beat that point down or they beat that point home a couple times prior to that. But it's essentially him being like, I need to pay for what I've done, and like I don't have a place in this world, so I'm just gonna go out.
That kind of sucks then, because like if that's what they cut out, then it just makes seeing Ben Affleck like bored to be in the movie.
Yeah,
because that's the feeling I got in some scenes where he's just like, he can't even like hold his eyes open, it seems like, to even like be there. So like that would help a lot if that stayed in there. And with the Warner Brothers mandate of it having to be 2 hours, I'm not completely against that, because I didn't want to see a 3.5 hour cut of Justice League, even though this was the movie that deserves to be like 3 hours long.
At one point it was going to be 2 movies.
Yeah. And I don't know if that's going to happen.
I'm perfectly okay with the 2 hour theatrical cut, and then I'll buy the extended version on DVD.
Yeah,
like I want to see that.
Yeah,
but I didn't need to see it in the theater.
Yeah, and we were talking earlier before this too. Like, I think Warner Brothers would be stupid to not like have 2 different versions of this movie out, because I think it would sell. Like if they had the Snyder cut out, people would buy it. I would buy it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I don't know.
It's a little disappointing that he didn't get a chance to like send off his characters, because he's essentially built this universe.
Yeah,
you have Wonder Woman and Suicide Squad there on varying levels of success. But
right.
Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman, and Justice League are like the main thread of the DC universe, and he's had a hand in all of them.
Yeah.
In this one, it feels very much like they took it away and kind of didn't let him do what he had originally set out to do.
Yeah, that's tricky to say, because with his personal things that went on with his like daughter and all that stuff, so it's like hard to say like if it was the production studio or like himself bowing out. But with a rumored 80% of this movie reshot, it's like I don't know what to believe.
Seems like a good studio cover to be like, oh yeah, he had to leave for personal reasons.
Yeah,
meanwhile, let's fix this movie.
Yeah, so that's
I would have liked a cut of this if it was like, all of the characters they introduce, you don't follow them to what they're doing outside of the group in general. Like, I would have liked to just see this mainly through, like, maybe Batman and Wonder Woman's eyes, instead of, like, going off in these off scenes where you're watching Aquaman talk to whoever Amber Heard is about some shit I don't even fucking know what the hell they're talking about.
Very vague off scene.
Very vague. Do not care. And then I do kind of know Barry Allen's backstory just from what I saw in, like, the Flash CW show from watching that first season. But without that, I wouldn't know why his dad's in jail or why he apparently might have killed the mom. There's just those scenes they throw in. Like, I don't... It's like someone's like, okay, hold on, I'm going to do this real quick. Do you mind waiting in the car? Like, and then it's like, all right, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. I'm just watching this.
Yeah.
Like, I would have liked it more as, like, they come in as, like, elements to help this go on. And then when they do that, then we go into, like, their own movie where you can get, like, an actual feel for what they are as a character instead of, like, a throw-in scene where it's like, huh? Right? Barry Allen talking to his dad?
Yeah, I feel like I think they, even though they want to have a disconnect from the CW show, I felt they, like, leaned pretty heavy on it with, like, the dad stuff, being in jail for... That's, like, the whole first and second season of The Flash is that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So, like, I actually, like, The Flash is probably one of my least favorite characters in this. Because, like, I just find him so annoying. And he's, like, not like the... Like, he's not like the classic Flash, which I don't care. Like, it doesn't... I don't need, really, that interpretation of it, but he is just so annoying. Like, I never laughed at any of his little quips. I find him just, like, a little bitch. Like, I can't fucking stand him in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, even though he's got some cool scenes in it, because of, like, the use of his powers and stuff, I do not like Ezra Miller's interpretation of Barry Allen.
See, part of the reason why I like Justice League is that not everyone is all-powerful. Like, I feel like in the Avengers, everyone is all-powerful. Even just the regular humans do off-brand, like, superhuman shit. Like, you're just a secret agent. Why are you fucking leaping from building to building? Like, you shouldn't be doing that. But in this, like, everyone felt believable in their position in the team. Like, that's why I kind of like the Flash, is, like, he is not this all-powerful guy that can fight people super wholeheartedly or, like, be super strong. He's just fast. So they just use that part of him to get a mission done. And he's scared shitless, does not know what he's doing in the team, but he's the fastest person in the team, and they use that to accomplish whatever mission they need to. And I like the idea of, like, they feel like a team. Like, everyone has their purpose in the team. Whereas Avengers is like, you could send any one person from Avengers and they could do what the other person does.
That's fine. Like, I can see your point of view. I just don't like Ezra Miller's take on it. And, like, plus he's incompetent. He trips, like, 4 times in this movie.
He's tripping all the time.
It's like... Fucking Christ, man, if you're going so fast but everything is slow-moed around you, you think you just pick up your fucking feet every once in a while.
I run all the time. I don't ever trip.
And he's just running normal speed.
Yes.
Maybe a little faster than
But it doesn't help that he runs like a douche, though, too.
He runs
like a flopping fish.
Your tweet was right on when you tweeted about Justice League. How about he runs... Oh, I'll just let you say
He runs like a Muppet. Mainly the very last scene where
runs like,
he's running through the city, just like
arms
flailing,
running like nobody ever has ever.
Oh my god! There's an episode of Friends where Phoebe runs in the park and she just runs like a child, and that is how he runs.
What are you doing?
Like someone who's never run in their life.
And that's kind of shown in the trailer, but I thought he was like whipping lightning around or something like that. Nope. He just never has run correctly in his whole life. Maybe...
No, I didn't get... I was thinking, like, is he just, like, being goofy? Like, oh, I can run however I want. I'm so fast. But it totally just seemed like, this is how we run, right, guys?
Maybe that's why Superman's as fast as him, because he just runs like a total dickhead.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, man. Cut through the wind. You know, make some knives out of your hands. We'll get an edge on Superman.
Oh, my God.
His run was terrible.
Awful.
But the part that I liked about this was like the team dynamic felt a little different than from Avengers. Like I felt like they tried to at least do that different.
Yeah, I felt like everybody did have something to do when it became as a part of a team. Like people had different skills that was helpful.
And they also felt like a completely different team dynamic, whereas like the Avengers felt like a group of friends getting together to accomplish a common goal. Like this felt more like a family dynamic, where like you have Batman who gives you his orders and is kind of distant, kind of like the father, and then Wonder Woman is kind of like the mother, where she's like very reassuring to people. Like especially like when Cyborg or Flash are down on themselves, like she always kind of comes and perks them up. Mm-hmm. And then Flash and Cyborg are kind of like the kids, where like they're still kind of getting used to their powers, but they're still trying to find their place in the team.
Yeah, and then Aquaman's kind of
rebellious. Aquaman's like the crazy uncle that shows up and like gets drunk and is like, "Hey, you want me to throw a trident against somebody?"
Yeah, I did enjoy that they all had very like unique individual personalities.
Yeah,
and they seemed fleshed out.
Yeah,
you know, for the most part.
Yeah.
Like, it did seem like we kind of had movies of them already, even though we haven't.
Yeah.
Like, you got a feel for the characters.
And
go ahead.
Oh, it showed, like, everybody, like, had a variety of skills, too. So, like, you can kind of tell that maybe Wonder Woman and Aquaman are kind of on, like, the same power level. And I like that because they're both, like, emissaries of their respective races.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool, so they can kind of clash heads. Because, like, in Flashpoint, that's kind of like a plot point or whatever. But then they show like Flash is like the quote fastest man alive, but then you find out that like, oh, maybe he's just as like Superman can just outmatch him because he's just as fast. So it's like, oh, maybe he's got room to grow. And then,
in that respect, Superman could probably outmatch Wonder Woman and Aquaman too.
But I also liked when
just
Superman
in that one scene alone, he outmatched everybody.
Yeah, and like I like that Superman came back and he is like the best. You know what I mean? He's like the strongest. He can race the Flash. He can do all that shit. I actually really appreciated when everyone was fighting Steppenwolf at the end. When Superman came in, he just whooped the shit out of him.
Oh, this guy? You need me to take care of this guy? Yeah. No problem.
Well, I'm sure we'll get into Steppenwolf in like a later discussion, but no, just to go back on like I love like it felt like a legit family dynamic. Like it could because Batman and Wonder Woman brought the team together. Like they did feel like the parents kind of manifesting this whole thing. And then like I love that discussion between Cyborg and Flash where they're like we're kind of like the accidents.
Yeah, I like that too.
Where like they feel like they're kind of even though they volunteered, they kind of feel forced into it because of who they are.
Yeah.
Whereas like Batman and Wonder Woman and Aquaman kind of volunteered on their own.
Yeah. Yeah. Even and then Aquaman, who doesn't have like a lot, I guess, of
I would say
backstory
he's
in this.
kind of like the most undersold of all of them.
But at the, I agree with that. But then I didn't. And with, like, Momoa's take on him, I didn't really mind that it was kind of undersold, because his movie's coming up pretty soon.
Yeah. Is this the next one?
I want to say it is, because I think it's filmed already.
Uh-huh.
But anyway, the little that... I don't know, but the little that we saw in Atlantis there, I was like, yeah, this is what Aquaman
looks
is like. I don't want to see it at all.
Maybe that's why the director issued that statement where like we're not doing the air bubbles, we're not doing that, because I thought the same thing. As soon as it showed him torpedoing through the air or through the water, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like wasn't even like dolphining or flipping.
Nope,
he just
flies.
shot through.
Yeah.
I'm like, that looks terrible.
Yeah.
Like you're doing Aquaman, you're just putting Superman in water. Like do something different.
Yeah.
Atlantis looked like dog shit, and it looked like everyone there didn't even like. It looked like everyone in Atlantis didn't even want to be in Atlantis.
Yeah.
Like it's just like, especially when they have the whole scene where like they steal the mother box from there. Like they don't really put much of a fight. They're just like, take it. I hate this place.
Yeah, they had like 2 guards guarding it.
Like,
better than when they got it from Earth when there was no guards guarding it. But anyway, yeah, Atlantis.
Well, yeah, it was nothing. It was like just a shed. Was it like in a shed of Atlantis? Is there more? Is there more of Atlantis than that? Like just little area.
Like they didn't. They weren't even put in like a strenuous situation. They were expecting someone to jump them, and they're like, "Oh fuck, he's here. Oh shit,
Well, we put up a fight.
Guys, we tried.
Oh, well.
We tried.
Should we go? Can we leave Atlantis now?
Yeah.
There's literally nothing here.
Yeah, it looks like nothing, like no...
She has to make a word bubble before we can even speak.
Yeah. It looks like no effort was made in Atlantis
They couldn't have even,
whatsoever.
taken the Taj Mahal and put a blue filter over it and then added, a little CGI Jason Momoa going in. They didn't even show, this big, epic Atlantis. It was literally,
a pedestal.
It was, a blue screen with a couple columns.
Yeah.
And that was Atlantis.
That's why I wanted it to kind of be more of, they seem a little bit separate from everybody, because then you could reveal Atlantis and, Aquaman's actual movie where they actually put the work into Atlantis.
That must be
what
they
would
doing.
have to. They would have to, because it'd have to be a big part of it. But here it was just well, we got to show Atlantis.
They'll get to it later.
So they fucking throw together some bullshit, and then it feels completely forced. I would have liked way more if it's they all feel like outsiders, and they do this cool stuff, and then later on you're like, I want to see more about that guy or more about this guy, and then you get it in their respective movies.
So, did you take it that Aquaman had been to Atlantis before?
No.
He just knew where it was, and it was just there, and they knew him, and he knew them. What was this?
I assume so before he got there, and then he talks to Mira, and it seemed like he was just never been there, or maybe only once before, and I'm like, what is happening here? First of all, you got your shit stolen, and now you're going to have a conversation about arguing with each other, or maybe it happened the other way around. I can't remember how it worked.
In this strenuous situation where something that you were bound by, life to protect, now you got to be why don't you come around more often?
No, I don't like my mom.
Yeah.
Or something along those lines. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not super excited about an Aquaman movie, even though I liked Aquaman in Justice League.
I like James Wan. He does good movies.
Yeah,
so I'm hoping that he can turn it around. And he's got a good artistic eye, so I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt that he's going to pull something together here.
It looks like the Gungan City in episode 1.
On the flip side, the attack on Themyscira was one of the highlights of the movie.
Yeah, that was an awesome scene.
Yeah.
That was fantastic.
Everything with Wonder Woman in this, I really liked a lot, actually.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah,
her opening, the movie kind of opens with her, or it's very close to the opening with her stopping that bank, or not the heist, the
explosion.
Yeah, potential doomsday thing.
It seemed so out of nowhere. She just happens to be posing on this Lady Justice across the street, watching these people apparently about to blow up money.
That was supposed to blow up all of London or something like that, right?
Yeah, they said they had 4 bombs.
But the one thrown
What happened to the other bombs?
I don't know. Maybe if they kill the main bomb, all the other ones just disintegrate.
But yeah, anyway, her stuff was good.
Yeah.
And the Amazon stuff was one of the best action sequences.
One of my
It did have
scenes.
good action sequences throughout.
All
the action was well done in this.
Yep, I agree.
Even though I'm not a big fan of Steppenwolf, I thought the way they introduced him made him seem like a very imposing force. Where every time it felt like they got away, he was always one step ahead of them. Where it's how the fuck are they gonna beat this guy?
Chopping ground and punching horses.
Yeah. And then, sure enough, the first scene they show him with the actual Justice League, he's getting his ass kicked by one of them, and I'm like, all right, well, fuck this guy then.
Yeah, that and he looked like a PlayStation 2 cutscene.
God, yeah.
We can. Let's talk about Wonder Woman stuff for a little bit more because I want to bask in it a little bit more. But yeah, that whole Themyscira scene, when they actually put up a real fight to protect this mother box.
That was great.
Even to those
the only ones to put up a fight.
Yeah, those women that sacrifice themselves when they hit those pillars with a sledgehammer to shut the door in that temple or whatever. That is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And then the whole lassoing the thing and then shooting with an arrow for them to catch it.
Just get it a little bit further away from him.
It's a heavy fucking arrow.
I was on the edge of my seat at that whole thing, and it looked. Yeah. And I thought it looked pretty.
And I
great.
loved it because there was so many instances where it's oh good, they got away, and then fucking Steppenwolf would be jumping over them, jumping a mile in front of them. We're oh fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
It needed more of
time.
that. Like, that was by far the best action
Yeah.
sequence. If they could have, like, kept that,
Yep.
like, on your edge of your seat type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was such a good scene.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Really tense. It had tension to it.
Did.
Like,
Yeah.
not really anything else had that much tension in it. In the whole movie, I don't think.
Yeah, and like everyone that fought him, like it felt like they were really legit putting up a fight, but he was just way too powerful for them, and I wanted more of that.
Yeah.
Like everyone that fought Steppenwolf after that felt like they were kicking his ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like,
Or he didn't fight much of anything at all.
he didn't really fight. He just kind of like stood there and took it, and then like got like knocked off of something, and then he had like more of his
tubed out of there.
shitty ass
Snapped a couple
parademons
necks.
like grab them
Yeah.
with their shitty wings.
Yeah.
Like it was just that was the only scene in there that made Steppenwolf seem like a badass.
Yeah, I agree. Also, I'm upset like the boom tubes didn't like come out at you. They were like the big blue beam in the sky again. I'm
yeah.
like, what are you doing?
Yep.
Not again!
And it should make a boom. They're boom tubes.
Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another action scene that I really liked is actually when the Justice League fought Superman, but only to the point where Flash realizes that Superman can see him.
Oh,
I
that
love
was
that
awesome.
part.
Because I saw this movie with Dinosaur Neil, and I was like, this is fucking cool. When like Superman, like you can see him peek over at Flash, I'm like, holy fuck.
That was great.
The look on his face when he sees him too, like,
Oh shit. I thought that was pretty friggin' sweet.
That was very good, yeah.
And I can tell that was a Snyder scene, because Snyder does what. Who cares what you think about like his whole movie critique or whatever, but he does action scenes very well.
Yeah.
And that was like a staple of his, like of just a sweet slow-mo, oh shit, this is fucking sweet action scene.
Well, the funny thing, like, he's known for his slow-mo, but he did not use it at all in Man of Steel or BVS.
Are you sure in BVS he didn't use it?
I'm pretty sure he used it in BVS.
I don't think so. I think the whole
Oh
thing
no,
is
there's
filmed...
some slow. There's like, especially that Superman montage. There's a shit ton of slow mo.
I don't think he does an action, though.
You might
Like,
be
think
right.
of Watchmen, where, like, every fight is slow-mo, or 300.
Yeah.
In Man of Steel, the one where it's like, oh, I want to see, like, the comic book panel come to life.
Yeah.
It was all filmed through that type of camera angle where... Or the camera trick where, like, it looks real, and they kind of zoom in and make it shaky.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's just, like, a bystander looking at it.
Yeah.
That was, like, the take they did for Man of Steel. And I think they did it for Batman vs. Superman, too.
Don't remember.
I don't think there's a ton of slow-mo other than, like, Superman saving the rocket and stuff like that.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. Okay.
But in this one, they fully embraced the slow-mo.
Oh, God,
but
so
so
much.
it works in some
Yeah,
cases.
I think I have no problem with it. Like, this type of movie, yeah, put it in. Show it off. As opposed to, like, the action movies where you, like, they shake the camera and you can't see what's going on. Like, it shows a level of production value there.
Yeah, it's like a little pause on the action, so like just a little screenshot of like, that's cool, that's cool, that's cool. I don't mind that when it does that.
Wonder Woman did it.
Yep. Yeah. So yeah, that was cool. But that after that, I do agree that it gets like kind of forgettable up until then, because like they. Okay, so when they call him the big gun, Lois Lane, right? And she gets out of the cop car being like, Clark Kent of the Daily Planet, flying in the sky, and there's cops all around for some reason still. I'm like, what is going on here? And then, so he immediately, like, gets kind of, like, turned back to normal, right? And then he just goes on being Superman.
Yeah, he was really boring in those, like, scenes where he's just, like, I don't know, like feeling corn.
Standing in corn.
Yeah. He does not go in the house at all. He just stands in that cornfield the whole fucking time.
The house was foreclosed.
Would that have been better if it was a
he's
dream
not allowed
sequence,
in.
though? Because, like, you're meant to believe it's like a dream sequence from the trailer, but it ended up being, like, real.
Good segue. The fact that Lois was Batman's secret weapon makes the nightmare sequence Batman has where the Flash tells him Lois is the key makes sense.
Yeah.
So he knew Lois was the key to getting Superman to calm down, to calm his tits.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Tits.
So it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I wish the Superman thing didn't, like, revert back, like, right away, but I know the movie needed to get going.
Apparently there's a cut scene there where he's still kind of crazy and manic, and his powers are overwhelming. And he flies back to the house, and when his mother arrives, she starts giving him the speech that she gave him in Man of Steel, where he's a kid freaking out and he won't come out of the closet.
Oh yeah.
And she says, like, picture yourself as an island, and she's calming him down. She does that to him here again, so it like harkens back
connective tissue.
Yep. That's like I really like that. Synergy. So that's why his mom had to come, and she calms him down and eases him out of it. But they cut it.
Man, that would have been.
Yeah, when I read that, I was like, that would have been great. Because it did seem like he just snapped out of it like that. Like, sorry I tried to kill everybody.
Oh, Lois,
but my upper lip has been acting really weird lately.
I don't want to talk about
get to that.
Yeah, that's fine.
I do want to bring up, though,
I've got notes.
I do want to bring up, though, that somebody posted a thing online where they said that CG enhanced Henry Cavill with his mustache looks like human Shrek. Did you see that?
No.
Looks exactly like him.
What? Are you serious?
It does. Someone did a side by side where it makes his face look a little fatter, so he looks like human Shrek from Shrek 2.
Send that to me.
I will.
All right, I want to see that. What do you guys think of Cyborg in this? I know we touched on him a little bit, but like I thought he was okay. I still don't like that design, but like
neither did anyone involved, because he doesn't have it at the end anymore.
No, and I'm like, at that point, if you were gonna do that and where he changes, like, why didn't you just do that from the beginning? Because like,
why don't you change to be like flesh toned and not a bumpy robot?
He was just like so many polygons in that fucking outfit, and like, I just don't like it that like there's that, like, it's over designed when it doesn't need to be. And like his joints are like really small, and I'm like,
I kind of like that. It was almost like the Terminator exoskeleton or endoskeleton, where you like see the hinges on his joints.
Yeah, I don't know. But then it's like bulky, and then like really tiny, and then goes to bulky again. I don't know, man. Wasn't a fan.
No, I'm not a huge fan of his costume, but it didn't like throw me out of it. I didn't mind the Cyborg character. I just wanted like a little bit more out of him, I think.
Yeah, I thought Ray Fisher did a good job.
It seemed like they probably cut a lot of his story.
Yeah.
Once I got past like the design of him, I thought he was a really interesting character, because he is basically like a character that has these powers that he has no idea how they work in the slightest. Like, he'll wake up one day and be like, "Oh, I know how to fucking
interface with satellites."
Pretty much.
Yeah.
He could legit wake up one day and be the most powerful being in all of the world.
Yeah.
And he will not know. Or he could wake up one day and be a walking nuclear bomb that destroys everything.
Yeah.
Like that and I think he portrayed that like that fear in himself, where it's like it's almost like he has a disease that makes him more powerful, but in the same sense could also make him evil or more destructive, or he could almost lose all of his humanity in one day and turn into like some other complete different thing that just uses his body as a host.
Yeah.
I think they really dropped the ball on like giving the possibility that he's like possessed by the mother box or something like that, because at times like Aquaman was very untrustworthy of him, but nothing became of it.
No.
It seemed like they kind of missed an opportunity to, like, he's made of the mother box, kind of. You don't really know, but like that is why he is what he is, and he can pick up alien languages and stuff. It seemed like
he
of
says
course
he
he
has
would
that
be
alien language in his head, and then it never comes up again.
Yeah.
But
it seemed like there was a whole character arc with him that they just dropped completely.
And with the new, so when the New 52 launched and they had that first arc of the Justice League book, it was kind of like how Cyborg ends up fitting in with the Justice League, and I thought that they were gonna take that in this movie to do kind of the same thing, because like
it's pretty close,
kind of, but like I thought they were gonna almost have the movie from his perspective and like follow him a little bit to get to know him, because like kind of everybody kind of knows everybody else, so he would have like
he'd be like the everyman,
right? Even though he's obviously not any man but a cyborg. But so I kind of thought they were going to do that, and they didn't. But it's also 2 hours long, and they cut a ton of stuff out.
Yeah. I heard they cut like him as a human, where he was a football star. His dad wasn't going to his games. He was driving home with his mom and got in an argument over his father with her, and then like spun out and crashed the car, killed his mom, and got himself wrecked.
Cyborg.
Yeah, and then his dad made him into Cyborg, I guess. Yeah. So they cut all that. And I think at the end, in the original cut too, Steppenwolf kills him. He tears him apart like he does in this, but it actually kills him.
Oh, really?
And apparently they take him to the Batcave after that, and Flash and Batman are saying, like, his physical body is dead, but his machinery is still, like, showing signs of functioning, so we might be able to jumpstart him. And apparently that's how it ended. Oh, like, they were gonna, maybe revitalize him, but then he would not be human at all.
Oh, shit.
Which is like,
that's interesting.
Cool. And there's some stakes, too.
Yeah. Somebody, like, actually died, a new member of the Justice. That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. Like, I also heard that, like, in the original cut, like, they even found a way to, like, make Steppenwolf interesting, where he wasn't, like, there to, like, terraform Earth. Like, he was actually this great warrior in space that Darkseid found, and found a way to, like, pretty much hold him hostage by trapping his mom in the mother boxes. That's why he keeps calling them mother.
Oh.
So, like, the only way that he could release his mom from being held hostage in the mother boxes is to put them together, which ultimately destroys Earth. So it makes him a sympathetic character, but he's still a villain because by releasing his mom, he's destroying Earth.
Yeah, I heard that too. So his mother box is the essence of his mother, Hegra, apparently, and Darkseid is his uncle.
Oh, okay.
And his plan is to get an edge over his uncle. So he's doing all this to, like, try to one-up Darkseid, I guess.
That's way more interesting.
And then the movie was supposed to end with, like, Darkseid coming and, like, killing him.
Yeah,
I heard Darkseid was cut.
Yeah, and then he says something like, "Oh, I want to see the Kryptonian," or something like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and apparently in the flashback or the history lesson on Steppenwolf, it goes into a lot more detail on the Amazons and the Atlanteans that are fighting him. There's more Green Lantern in it, which we should mention. There's a Green Lantern in this.
Yeah.
Zeus is in it, and Ares from Wonder Woman are all fighting together.
Yeah.
And there's, like, lines of dialogue that are in all of the trailers that they completely cut out, too, about Steppenwolf.
There's a lot in the trailers that I was trying to look for in the movie that was just not there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's most likely cut, but
Cyborg's faceplate as he flies into space.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
There's some football footage of him, too, in the slow-mo.
Yeah.
Superman's hologram that Batman's looking at.
Yep.
Alfred saying something to, I'm assuming, Superman, saying, like, "Oh, I didn't expect to see you," or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of the stuff from the trailer, I think the one that I'm thinking of is, like, not the first one. I don't think I remember seeing in the movie at all, which is too bad. Too bad.
I don't know. It feels like, especially, like, in the very beginning, it felt like a lot of, like, cutting stuff to make up for time. Because it felt like a lot of scenes were very disjointed. Like, it's like, let's watch this guy go here. Now let's watch this guy go here. Let's watch this guy go here. Like, nothing flowed really too much in the first half.
Right. But I didn't feel like it was, like, as choppy as, like, Suicide Squad was.
No, I completely agree.
Yeah.
This, I will still say, is a movie.
Yep.
Suicide Squad, I will go to my grave saying that is not a movie.
No.
It was a collection.
It was a 2 hour. It was a 2 hour music video.
Yeah, absolutely.
Probably 2.5 hour.
Well, it felt like that. Apparently, there's cut footage of Iris West for Flash's backstory, and also Willem Dafoe as Volko.
Yeah, I totally forgot. Like, William Dafoe was supposed to be in this movie
in Aquaman's area.
Yeah.
I like all we're talking about is a cut shit.
But like it's a lot of stuff though that was like hyped to be in this movie, and then it just ended up on the floor. So it's weird. I don't know.
It felt like from how you guys are talking about how much shit they cut, it felt like a very like a panic mode type movie. Where we just need to appeal to people.
Yeah, make it as quick and painless as possible.
Pretty much.
Hopefully they're going in thinking, like, the people that want it will buy the director's cut.
Yeah.
And that's fine. Like, I'll do that.
Yeah.
You know?
I would too.
Like, there was some promising stuff in here, but yeah, it just felt like I don't know. It felt like there was something missing through most of it.
Get as many showings as you can in a day, make up that money, and then get extra on the extended version.
Yeah.
There's one, I heard there was a cut where at the end Lois introduces Perry White to Clark Kent, a.k.a. Superman. So, like, the movie ends with her revealing to Perry White and maybe the world that Clark Kent is Superman. Because it shows him in full Clark Kent garb at the end, and then he blasts off.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, like, they had Clark Kent's funeral. Like, why would he be, like, dressed as Clark Kent again?
Yeah.
But I guess he admits, like, yeah, I'm Clark Kent. I'm also Superman.
I want to say...
But I would like that, though, because it's so like out of left field that people will believe, like, wait, you're Superman?
Yeah.
It's because he wears a pair of glasses. No one's putting that together.
I thought that Perry White was at the funeral, like at Clark Kent's funeral at the end of Batman v Superman. So I thought that'd be weird if they bury him and then he's like back alive and he's like, nope, I was just buried under rubble in Metropolis or whatever. It's like, no, we saw you getting put in the ground. You were dead.
But they're telling him that he is Superman, that Clark is Superman.
Right, I get that. But like, at the same time, it's like...
They didn't put it together like, Superman's dead, Clark Kent's dead.
Wait a minute.
They're probably not the same person, though.
I don't know.
Also, it kind of negates the ending of Batman vs. Superman, where it shows his coffin and the dirt rising.
Yeah.
And it's like, nope, still dead. I wasn't a huge fan of
that
how
was
they
that was like him trying. Like,
yeah.
Maybe I can't. Oh, no, I can't. I'm going to stay dead.
It seemed like such a quick, like, oh, let's try this. It worked. We brought this guy back from the dead.
Also, that fucking Krypton ship with the fucking ooze in it is the biggest shortcut that fucking those movies have ever made.
They have made use of that Krypton ship.
Yeah.
It has been a pivotal point since
like
Man
they just
of
need
Steel.
to turn that thing into a resurrection spa right now.
Yeah.
Where
Could
it's
be the
just like,
Lazarus Pit.
Yeah, there you go.
It totally will be if they keep them going.
Yeah.
Yeah. They just introduced someone called fucking what's his name?
Ra's al Ghul?
Yeah, just Ra's al Ghul just like buys the land and then turns into a Lazarus pit.
Yeah, I wasn't huge on how they brought him back. I was hoping for something a little different.
I was just hoping it would just be like in the comics where he's just like...
I
just needed
better.
a minute.
Yeah. And like, why was his chest wound fixed? And why, when he got out of the goo, was his hair perfectly parted in the Superman part? And he didn't have, like, perfect chance for the beard and the mullet.
Yeah.
Like, when you're dead, your hair still grows for a little while. Like, have him come back, but he looked perfect.
How long was he dead? Like a month?
Like a year.
Was it
Hasn't
a year?
it been a year?
I don't remember.
I don't know. Maybe it was less. But I thought he should have looked more crazed. Like,
Yeah.
he comes out of the ground and he looks perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Like, have him look like wild-eyed, crazy Superman.
Yeah.
You know?
that'd been
And
pretty
it felt
sweet.
super morbid. They were walking around with that dead body. So, like, they're shipping a dead body and they're just carrying this dead person.
Well, I missed that part because I did get up and go to the bathroom during this movie.
Oh, it's one of those movies.
But
another Thor.
I came back and was like, I think I didn't miss anything. And Neil's like, nah.
Oh, they brought Superman back to life. And they left the mother box on the hood of a car.
I came back and like Flash was running and he touched the corner of the mother box and I'm like, oh, that's how they bring Superman back. He's like, yeah. I'm like, all right. Why couldn't they just sit the mother box in the water? Like,
Yeah,
did it
they
have
had
to
to
be the
drop
moment
it.
it touched?
It's something where like it had to be charged the minute it hit the water or something. That's what they said their explanation was.
All right. That's fine.
Like that's why he had to run. He had to run from like the other side or something. Like his charged. I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
Like there's so much shit.
You don't need to.
You don't even need. Yeah, like you don't even need that. But they were just like, let's throw it in and be fucking suspense. Like,
Speaking of Superman coming back, I got the biggest kick out of when he comes back in the final battle in full Superman regalia, and they all see him for the first time. Batman's facial expression is just priceless. Like, he looks at him in this look like he has the vapors. Dude, it's a smile and almost like a heavy chin, like he's gonna cry. It's just like,
Batman wants to fuck Superman so hard in this whole entire movie. Every time he brings him up, it's like, God, it feels like you're fighting back a boner right now. Every time he brings him up.
When it's on DVD, I will get you a screenshot of that because his look is priceless.
Thank God. Batman is weird in this because in the movie right before this one, he's like, if there's a 1% chance he's an enemy, we must like kill him or whatever. And this is like, if there's a 1% chance we can bring him back, we must do it. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about, Batman?
Pick a stance. Oh yeah, that was funny.
What did you think about
Superman is in Batman's boys club?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Along with Robin.
I think
all of them.
I think Jeremy Irons is really good in this. I think
he's
I liked
great.
him more than in this than I liked him in Batman v Superman, I think.
I loved him in BVS, but I thought he was just on point in this. I like him as Alfred. I like J.K. Simmons as Commissioner Gordon too for like the two scenes.
Yeah, the two scenes he was in.
But I thought he was good.
Yeah.
Like, I'm ready for more of that. I don't know why the hell he needed to beef up like he did. He's in a trench coat.
He's in more layers than anybody in this movie.
How about the guy from Mindhunters playing a goon in the beginning?
And then Batman just leaves him tied up on a rooftop. And
after they share a moment where they see the parademon and they're like, that's fucked up. This world, man. Like, and they're just like, yeah, it really is. Well, see you later.
Since we're jumping to the beginning, let's talk about how, I guess, the death of Superman equals the rise in orange vendor terrorism. That seems to be the only crime that's on the rise.
And that one homeless man just tried. He just tried.
He tried so hard.
Oh, Snyder goes for that really... He goes for it in his credit sequences.
He sure does.
But I'm fine with that. Like,
that's fine.
Instead of just everything's a joke, like, go serious, man. Go for it. Play the moody, somber song, slow-mo it. We don't get enough of those. I can do it.
I'm still thinking about that Batman scene and the Mindhunters guy. Okay. Also, did Batman piece this together? He got like Lex Luthor's notes about like 3 squares. And then because one of those things dies on the wall and has 3 squares for whatever reason, he's like, they're connected.
Yeah, I didn't get that
Why?
at all. I kind of forgot about that.
Looking enough for squares.
That doesn't make any sense. When all the parademons die, they like give up their secret of the 3 boxes.
Yeah. Well, Alfred technically figured it out.
Oh, that's true. Alfred being the most Alfredy in this movie.
Yeah.
Just wants Batman to get laid and to maybe quit or continue being Batman.
He must have stock in Bruce Wayne's dick because he is constantly trying to find ways for it to be put in something.
That's very true. Even though he didn't need any help because he rolls out of bed in BVS with somebody in it, right?
Yeah.
He just wants to bang higher property value, like Wonder Woman or something.
He wants his dick to invest in somebody. Don't be just going around.
Yeah.
Places like that, he's going to end up in the boys' club.
Those penny stocks.
Yeah.
Pennyworth.
Alfred is
Your name sums it up perfectly, Pennyworth.
Alfred is going the whole you can't. No one will buy the cow if you give away the milk for free kind of scenario.
Very good.
So I had learned before I saw this that Danny Elfman has his classic Batman theme and the John Williams Superman theme.
Yeah.
And if I didn't read that going in, I would not have caught it in the movie. I was looking for it.
A few moments in there.
It's in there, but it's so like overcome by the action sound effects. Like I would have missed it if I wasn't looking for it. I wanted a full-on orchestra, like the opening of the Batman cartoon.
Yeah, I missed the Superman one, and I couldn't place it, but I did catch the Batman ones, because I used it a few times.
I think the Superman one is only, like, 1 or 2 notes of it. Like, when he comes in at the end and kind of, like, settles down to the ground, I think they do a little bit of it, but not much.
But I did pick up when Batman, like, because I even mentioned to Neil during the movie, I'm like, having that Batman theme, I think, helps Batman in this movie. Yeah. Really, Batman doesn't do a whole lot in this movie.
No, he doesn't.
Like, he kind of
taking a step back from, like, Batman.
Like, he is definitely more in the background. But, like, that's what I like about Batman is, like, he's in the background, but he's still, like...
moving all the pieces.
Yeah, like, he's kind of the leader. Like, he's kind of in the background, like, kind of, like, showing people what they should do.
But I was looking for like a standout moment of his too, but I don't really have one in this movie. I can't think of any.
Not really.
Because like he had that amazing fight scene in Batman v Superman.
God damn it!
Yeah, he has nothing like that in this.
I would have liked that.
Yeah, I was waiting for him to mop the floor with a bunch of parademons or something, and then he never did.
He can barely fight him off in it.
I know, but I was like hoping he'd just be like parademon gun, and then like punch one in the face, batarang one, go punch more, and then gun. He
does have a predilection for guns. That is keeping in tune.
Yeah.
Even the part where he gets in the crawler and he's like, "Sorry, I didn't bring a sword." It's like, oh yeah, this Batman loves guns.
And then his Batmobile has the biggest gun shell casings popping out of that thing I've ever seen.
Oh my god, he loves guns.
Loves guns.
I
can't really think of anything else. Are we talking about Steppenwolf yet?
I was just gonna say, in the list of things that doesn't make any sense, why does Steppenwolf invade Earth because Superman is suddenly dead when he had thousands of years to invade Earth before Superman came to Earth?
I think
like
5,000 to be exact,
for like
right?
a year. And he's like, well, let's do it.
I know for a fact now that there are no Kryptonians on Earth. For sure.
They're all dead.
How I pieced it together was like, I think Superman being on Earth and being found by Zod like showed people that Earth exists. And then when Superman died, then it became free game. That's how I pieced it together.
I guess, what did Luthor say? Like they rang the bell at the end of BVS. Ding ding. Ding ding. Ding ding ding.
Classic mother box sound.
Ding ding ding.
Yeah.
So I guess by doing something, they set an alarm, and that's when they knew they could come to Earth.
I suppose so.
So okay, that makes sense. How about that upper lip?
Can we talk about the mustache for a bit?
Jesus.
All I could do was stare at that upper lip.
I mean, I was looking out for it in this movie, and if I didn't know going in, I think there had been only like 2 times that I've been like, that looks weird.
It's all I looked at. I couldn't tell what was fake and what was real.
The kid podcast scene looked the worst.
Yeah,
like, it looked
and that was the first.
Yeah, and it looked like his lip was like like this upper lip was flesh colored. Where you're like, all right.
Yeah, like it didn't really sit right. I thought it was like it felt like it was floating on there, but because they had the grainy footage, they felt like they could get away with more or something.
I thought they even had it in like the up close stuff. I thought it all looked fake. I don't even know what's real or what they said. I thought every upper lip in the movie looked fake. I still think your lips look fake. It ruined me on lips. I don't even know what's real anymore.
Dave, I need to tell you something. I've never had a beard.
Oh my god.
And then there was like one other time after that, I was like, I don't think this is well, because it's like he's showing a lot of teeth at one point too. I'm like,
when he's choking Batman, I swear that's CGI.
That might have been the other one too. I can't remember.
But it all looked fake. They should have just had him come back with a beard or a mustache.
Yeah, exactly. It wouldn't matter if he died and came back with a mustache. You'd be like, time does a toll on a body.
Yeah,
and you look great with that mustache.
More to work with.
Yeah. I don't know,
Can you believe there's footage out there of him in the full Superman outfit with a mustache? Oh my god, we gotta see that.
I've seen like 10 Twitter avatars of just Superman with a mustache, and I'm like, this guy gets it.
Mm-hmm. I actually heard someone like went out on Halloween as Superman with a mustache. Like, it's like a perfect. That's an amazing costume.
On his cape, it says Paramount wins.
Paramount lives.
Just have like the Superman costume, but it says MI6 on the where the S is.
Advertising Mission Impossible 6 on the back. Oh my god.
But with all that being said, as I said in the beginning, I really liked how Superman is portrayed in this. Like, especially at the end where like he like goes out of his way to help Cyborg pull the mother boxes apart.
Yep, I like that.
And then when that happens, and they're like both laying there, like they're like knocked out, and they start laughing. Like, that's a total like situation where it's like we went through this near death situation, and now we're like connecting through like, holy fuck, that was fucked up.
Yeah. Also like when they are pulling the mother boxes apart, and Superman's like, I don't like being dead, and that also kind of like works with Cyborg too. And I thought that was really clever.
Yeah.
Even though I didn't really get it while watching it, I put it together later. I think I might even heard it somewhere else. But either way, it still works.
But I don't know, like, hearing Superman laugh made me feel really good.
It seemed like a massive course correction, though, because that is not in his character in these Snyder movies.
Of films,
I don't know, but it felt so good.
Yeah.
It just felt good. Like, to just be like, here's his all-powerful being, and he's happy.
Right.
To have him, like, being, like, very sullen all the time, it's like, well, then fuck us. Then why are you even helping us? The fact that we were making you so depressed, just leave, because we're just pieces of shit.
Yeah.
We're not worth saving.
It's totally how Superman should be. But, like, where they open it with that cell phone footage, almost like they're reminding the audience, like, remember this Superman? Like he's cheering, he loves helping kids?
Yep.
You're like, no.
Yeah.
Did this happen between the movies?
I heard a review.
Happened after he died in the last one?
I heard a review for it, and when that first question, so how many people have you saved? And he's like, and they're like, yeah, he's fighting back saying 0. He's killed way more people than he saved.
Oh, shit. I also, somebody else, I think on another show, said, like, that footage should have shown up more at the end, where, like, that, like, what does humanity mean to you? And he kind of, like, pauses and then, like, goes to answer and then it cuts.
Yeah, they could have bookended it with that or something.
I thought that would have been pretty clever to do.
But, well, there's still time for the extended cut to throw that in.
Yep, that's very true.
But no, it felt good to, like, see Superman having fun. Because, honestly, if you are a being from another world and you come to Earth, like, what stake would you have in us if we're making you feel like shit? Why wouldn't you just be like, all right, peace, I'm leaving?
Yeah.
Like, I want that feeling that, like, you like us.
And I wish that would have been put more forward in, like, other movies as well. Like, he was raised to think that. But, like, Jonathan Kent in Man of Steel is just like,
Kent is a
probably
drag.
fucking hate everybody.
Well, you should
the
probably
bus
just
goes into the water, don't save anybody.
You should probably fucking leave.
Get
We're
out
all
of here.
pieces of shit.
Yeah.
We're all gonna die anyway.
Well,
What's
yeah.
the point?
But, like, the fact that he
Nihilist
saves...
Pa Kent. That should be a Twitter handle.
Nihilist podcast.
But, like, the fact that he saves everybody and he's happy about it to the point where he's laughing, like, it made me feel good.
Yeah, me too.
Like, that's what I liked.
When Flash, like, pushes that truck to safety and then Superman flies with the whole
Like,
building.
The whole building.
And I could just hear him being like... whistling as
like
he
it was
goes
just
by.
a day,
How did that
like a
building
day's
retain
work.
its structural integrity?
It doesn't matter.
It could have been balancing on like a pin. Speaking of that, one of the most abundant Joss Whedonism of the entire goddamn movie was
Aquaman?
that European family that they had to constantly show, like, there's people in danger here. There's one family living in this burned out hellhole.
Chernobyl or
and we have
whatever
to
we
keep
are.
checking in on them to
Yeah.
make sure, like, yep, there's lives at risk. There's a human face on that.
I
hated that.
I thought you were going to bring up the Aquaman sitting on the lasso scene.
Oh, yeah.
I thought you were going to bring up when Batman falls and says, I'm bleeding somewhere.
That too. And I was also thinking about when Batman
your
has an
vagina?
affair with someone. But no, like, that family seemed like so overkill. Like, oh yeah, there's people in danger, but just this one family. No one else apparently lives here.
Nah. Watch out for those danger roots or
And
whatever
they were there for like days. Like, how are the parademons not getting in? Do they not know how to work doors?
And then they just left.
Yeah.
Like, they just left. Like, they were like, why didn't you leave earlier?
Well, because Batman drove down with his speaker system, his Sonos sweet Bose speaker system he's got on that Batmobile.
Playing covers of Bowie and Beatles songs. And, like, the people have said the CGI was questionable, and other than the CGI mustache removal, I don't think it was too bad, other than the terraforming in that whole end fight scene. It was like someone said, oh, the movies are so dark and gray. Can we make them purple?
Dark and red instead?
Can we make them just dark and red and purple?
Yeah.
It was just like the exact same look, but they just swapped color palettes.
In the trailer, I thought that was really, like, disheartening, but in the movie, I guess I didn't notice it as much as we were going along with the whole thing. but I thought like the red overtones was gonna like kind of be a cry to like Final Crisis or something. It never did.
No,
it never was that. But whatever.
Overall, I could have used someone more than Steppenwolf.
Me too. Just make it Darkseid.
A tease of Darkseid. Yeah. Or yeah, it could have just been Darkseid.
Yeah.
Because now we don't know, like, did this do well? Are we getting another one? Are we ever going to get, like, a Darkseid follow-up? Like, he's the one you use, not fucking Steppenwolf. Yeah. No one knows who Steppenwolf is.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a comic fan. I didn't really know him until I heard he was a villain in this.
And then, again, you still had to wiki the shit out of him, because I'm like, I don't know who this shit is. Like,
and he's just lame. Like, just use Dark... He's like a Darkseid... He's a Darkseid light.
Yeah, exactly. And, like, I know why they're apprehensive to use him, because he's similar to Thanos, but, like, use him first.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Then you got to him.
You make Marvel seem like a bitch. And they'll be like, oh, you're going to use fucking Thanos? Like, well, like Darkseid and Justice League?
Yeah, because then you know what they'd forced to do? They'd be forced to have Disney buy 20th Century Fox to get fucking Galactus.
Oh, yeah.
Because then they
just one-upping him.
Yeah, then what does DC have to do? Anti-Monitor. And then we're all fucking happy.
My guess is they're going to try to throw in Thanos, Darkseid into, like, the Flashpoint thing. Like, that might be where we get him.
Yeah, maybe.
And on that note, I really have to pee. So talk amongst yourselves.
Go ahead. So JT.
Yes.
Oh, fuck. Well, he's leaving. I want to talk about the after-credit sequences.
Oh, yeah. That's what I was going to go towards, too. But, yeah, he left.
Well, we can talk. I know you want to talk about the second one. So let's talk about the first one.
Oh, yeah. The first one, which I thought was a fun... throw-in.
Yeah, me too.
It's a debate that everyone has.
Yeah.
And they threw it in where it felt like just a fun reference.
Yeah. It's, if anyone doesn't know, it's like the race between Flash and Superman.
Yeah.
But I also thought it was fun. I really like any time they ever do that.
Yeah.
And in this one, it seemed like it could be a fun thing because Superman is like almost equal with the Flash. Mm-hmm. Because any other time, I'm like, well, Flash is faster. Duh.
Yeah.
Like, of course he's going to win.
Yeah.
But, like, I like this as, like, maybe Superman's trying to, like, almost make him, like, push himself.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of cool.
But, like, even, like, the fight scene where, like, Superman, like, looks at him and, like, tries to punch him when he's, like, going crazy and shit, like, it seemed like he was a little slower than Flash, but not that much slower than Flash.
Right.
So it's, like... it seems believable, like it would be an actual close fight.
Yeah.
And like, hey, when they were debating whether they should run to the Atlantic Ocean or Pacific Ocean, like just shit like that was like, that was pretty funny.
Yeah,
I like that.
I really like that. They've done that like a bunch of different times in like the comics. They even did it in like Smallville, and they might have even done it in another thing too. But every time they do it, I'm just like, this is fun. This is just like. This is them not, like, having a civil war.
Yeah.
It's them, like, let's have a fun little race, and whoever wins will buy you a Snickers.
Yeah, and it was like another situation where it felt like it's like it humanized Superman more, where he wasn't brooding on whether or not people liked him, even though half the people liked him and half the people didn't like him, and he just like was like, well, the other half doesn't like me.
Yeah.
But here it's like he felt like he was actually falling into place as like, I like being this hero for the people.
Yeah. Even though I hated how, like, dumb Flash is in this, it's like, okay, we're going to the Atlantic Ocean. And it's like, no, we're going that way. Like,
but he's still a kid. That's the thing.
He is not he is an adult.
But he's
and even
still
the kid knows, like, what direction the Atlantic or Pacific Ocean is. I don't know, he's just,
well, fuck. Okay, so you, like, stand which, like, if you go out there without a compass, can you point where's north, south, east, and west?
Which way
if you're in the middle of somewhere?
Troy? The Atlantic Ocean would be east.
Which direction is
point
east?
To it right now.
I don't know. The sun's not up. I can't tell. I don't know where my house lays. It's on weird landlines. I don't know where it is.
Such a Flash thing to say.
You son of a bitch.
Whatever, Alan.
Anyway, I don't know. For him being a CSI investigator, I think he's pretty dumb. But
he's working his way up. He just got the papers.
He's like, he only got hired as an investigator. He doesn't know which way's east. Good for fucking him. Anyway, the second unless you wanted to add to the first after credit scene, the race.
Nope, I think you covered it.
Great. Good. The second one, JT, you specifically texted me about this, so I'll let you have the floor.
Oh well, shit.
It's not the race.
Yeah, it's not the race. But I'm trying to think. God damn it. Names just escape me out of nowhere. Jesse Eisenberg.
Yes.
Lex Luthor.
Yes.
Has escaped from jail and is on a yacht and meets up with the person that sprung him, who is Deadshot. Deathstroke.
Yeah.
God damn it.
They're all the same.
Deathstroke, who looks like motherfucking Johnny Depp from fucking...
Fantastic.
It looks like Warner Brothers took the fucking wig from Johnny Depp as whoever from Fantastic Beasts and like douched it up with some fucking spikes and put it on his head. He looks terrible. Awful.
I forgot that it was Joe Manganiello when he took off his mask. Because even after I left, I thought it was the guy from Arrow who was Deathstroke. And I'm like, oh man, they must have... He's in that one too? Ugh. And I'm like, wait a minute. No, it was Joe Manganiello. But like, I completely forgot.
But he looks like shit. Like they bleached the shit out of his hair where you can barely tell he has hair.
Well, he's supposed to be... He always has like white hair and stuff. Deathstroke does.
Yeah. I thought his costume was almost a little too comic book accurate, that it looked like bulky and like a Halloween costume.
Yeah, it looked like he was cosplaying.
Like most of the time, they kind of leather bodysuited up. This one they didn't, and I feel like of all the characters, his would lend itself to not being so vibrantly colorful.
Yeah. I think at this point, I was like looking forward to leave, and so like I didn't really pay close attention to this, except for when they teased the like League of Evil Superheroes or whatever they're
Which
going to call it.
Which could be anybody, yeah.
But I was like, that seems like a more interesting plot than what we just got.
I think that would be a way cooler, because it's something that the Avengers has not played with yet.
No,
like
a group of evil
group of evil people versus a group of good people where they actually want to try and kill each other. Like that'd be something that DC would have over Marvel tenfold.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they'd try to pair them up, like get a villain for each character and all that.
Yeah.
I think that would be cool.
That'd be amazing.
Me too.
And just think, like, they've established that Batman's been operating for 20 years, so they just go to Arkham Asylum and, like, not Two-Face, not Clayface, not Scarecrow. Like,
not
they
the
could just,
faces.
Yeah, none of the faces. They could just pick through and have them, they all exist, but, like, we're going to go with Bane or whoever, you know?
Yeah. That'd be great. But we didn't get that.
No.
But maybe
maybe that's what they're building towards.
Yeah. Because that'd be cool if that was the next one, and if they do a third movie, if it even gets this far, then they do Darkseid after like the Thanos thing has worn off a little bit, and then they can have a little bit of time. I think that'd be all right. Yeah. Like to have like a little dip and then rise up for like a big threat. Because if they do Darkseid next, and then they do like the League of Evil Superheroes or whatever it is, or evil.
Yeah. Like the League would be a good kind of like inner, like. What do you call it? Intermission, between the big ones.
A Temple of Doom between the other ones.
Because play like an apocalypse thing where it's like they face off against each other, they've beaten each other to a pulp, and then Darkseid shows up, and now they have to come together to beat Darkseid.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, because no matter what they do, Darkseid is going to be exactly like what we just got.
Yeah.
He has parademons. He wants to, like, take over the Earth. Like, it is going to be exactly what Steppenwolf's plan was.
Yeah. Yeah. But everyone likes Darkseid more, so hopefully that's better.
Yeah, but, like, just having one character do the same thing but look different isn't terribly enticing.
But he's got those weird, crazy eye beams.
Omega beams.
That's right.
Yeah.
Or Omega Sanctions, depending on whatever you listen to. Mm-hmm. Beams are better.
Yeah. Well, they're beamier.
Quite. Well, I think that brings us to the end of our review, possibly, unless anyone else has any bullet points.
I think we've covered it.
That's it for me.
Pretty in depth.
What would you grade this movie on a A to F scale, everybody? I'll go first.
Go for it.
I am going to maybe give this movie a C-.
Oh, really? That low?
Yeah, I mean, we talked. There's a lot of stuff I ended up liking about this movie, but as a whole, I left thinking like this is kind of forgettable. It's okay, but like I can never remember what happened at the end of this movie. But it was a step in the right direction, so I don't know, maybe a C minus. Yeah, that's where I'm gonna stick.
I feel like it's total like junk food superhero movie where it doesn't say or do anything.
Yeah.
But I was never bored by it, and even though it's kind of dumb in a lot, and there's so much you can pick apart.
Yeah.
Like I was entertained by it.
Mm-hmm.
So I would give it a B minus C plus.
Uh-huh.
And it is not a good movie, but it's
right.
It's fine. You know,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
watchable.
Exactly, yeah. But even before I went into it, I'm like, if this movie is fine, that's the best it could ever be.
Yeah.
And I think it was just a little bit below that, though, and I'm like,
I'm like, other than me being sick of talking about it and thinking about it, like when I do think about it, I'm so torn on like, oh, it has all this problems, but like that part was kind of good, and like
I know. I'm
it's
right there
easy
with
to
you,
overlook.
though. Yeah,
it's right in the middle. Like depending on your mood, I think, or the day,
yeah,
you could go either way.
Yeah.
Like I thought about it once, I was like, yeah, it was solid. And I thought about it again, I was like, yeah, but it wasn't great, and it's right on the line.
I do want to see this movie again, like at home, and just like take it in again, you know. Mm-hmm. Anyway, JT.
I went into this review tonight thinking that I liked it more, but like listening to all of the things that were wrong with it, like I was like, oh yeah, that was a really shit. But like I think I'm like in between you guys, where I'm gonna give it like a middle of the road C. Yeah. Like there were some things in there where I feel like they tried to like establish some things that aren't Avengers type, like the dynamic of the team, and like actually maybe establishing a possible like good team versus bad team type movie in the long run, like actually trying to differentiate themselves from the Avengers. But a lot of this did feel like a Marvel movie where they tried to copy the Avengers, and it just was very watered down. Like the jokes didn't hit like the Avengers, like the action didn't hit like the Avengers, and like I feel like like they tried way too hard to copy Marvel when Marvel already did it way better, like
17 times.
Yeah, way better like a long time ago. So, but beyond that, like there was still some fun stuff in there, and there was like still some fun characters and like some fun action scenes. So yeah, just beyond that, just like a strong C.
I feel it was serviceable with the prospect of a solid B plus in there somewhere that we didn't get to see.
Yeah, I believe that.
It would never have been an A. Steppenwolf alone would not make it an A.
Knocks it a whole letter grade. Yeah.
But like, I feel without the meddling and everything, it probably could have been pretty good.
With all the things that we said that were cut out, those are like way interesting plot points. And I'm like, fuck, why weren't those in there?
And I mean, everything else that happened with this, it could have easily been a D or an F too.
Oh,
so like
complete disaster.
It was just okay.
Yeah,
it's not the most exciting review.
Yeah,
but like it's fine.
I feel like it played it safe enough where it was serviceable, but that was also its detriment.
Yeah, forgettable.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I know. Hey, thanks for listening. If you want to join us on social media, do so at ReviewPod on Twitter. If you happen to be a Facebooker, do that ReviewPod on Facebook. You can find us at our host site at reviewpod.podbean.com, but you don't have to listen to just there. We are also on a multitude of platforms such as Google Podcasts, Alexa devices, Stitcher, and Apple Podcasts. If you happen to be an Apple user, rate and review us there, because if you like the show, that helps other people find the show as well. If you want to write in, do so at reviewpod@gmail.com. Thanks for listening again. We'll see you next time.
And we're off.